Why 5 billion people watch the FIFA World Cup and why you're missing out. Why you should watch. Let me be completely honest with you. You don't need to understand football to watch the World Cup. You don't need to know the offside rule. You don't need to know what VAR is. You don't need to pick a team. You just need to watch one match. Because here's what happens every single time. 90 minutes in, something occurs that nobody expected. A goal from nowhere. A save that shouldn't be possible. A moment so human, so raw, so perfectly timed that you forget you didn't care about football 5 minutes ago. That's how it starts for everyone who loves this sport. One match, one moment, and you're in. Forever. Nobody who watches the World Cup regrets it. Nobody. So before I tell you anything else, that's why you should watch. Now let me show you what you've been missing. The scale. Let's start with something almost impossible to understand. 5 billion people watch the World Cup final. Not 5 million, not 500 million, 5 billion. More than half the humans alive on this planet stop everything they're doing to watch the same match on the same day. Wars have paused for it. Countries that agree on absolutely nothing, different languages, different governments, different histories, agree that this matters. The Olympics is massive. The Super Bowl is massive. But nothing comes close to this. This year, the World Cup comes to North America, USA, Canada, Mexico, 3 countries, 48 teams, 104 matches, 39 days. The biggest World Cup ever made, and it starts very soon. This tournament has been running since 1930, 96 years of history. The first one had just 13 teams. Several countries refused to come because the boat trip took 3 weeks. 3 weeks on a boat, just to play football. In 1950, Brazil hosted the World Cup. They built the biggest stadium in the world for it. 200,000 fans packed in for the final. Brazil lost. They still talk about that day. They call it a national trauma. In 1966, someone stole the World Cup trophy from an exhibition in London. A dog named Pickles found it, wrapped in newspaper, under a hedge. England won the World Cup that year. The dog became a national hero. In 1970, Brazil played so beautifully, so perfectly, that FIFA said they could keep the original trophy forever. No one else would ever win it again. In 1986, one player scored what many call the greatest goal in the history of football. In the same match, that same player also scored with his hand. The referee didn't see it. He called it the hand of God. In 1994, the best player at the entire tournament, the man everyone expected to win it, stepped up to take the final penalty. He missed. His team lost the World Cup. He said years later, he still dreams about it. 96 years. Every tournament producing a story that people remember forever. The moments. Here's what the World Cup really produces. Not just great football. Moments. The goal nobody expected from a player nobody had heard of that sends an entire nation into the streets. The underdog, the team nobody believed in, that beats the favorite anyway, in the 90th minute, with one chance. The goalkeeper who saves 3 penalties in a shootout to send his country to the final. The captain, gray-haired in his 30s, in what might be his last World Cup, who finally lifts the trophy after decades of his country waiting. The player who misses the final penalty, who sits on the grass, while the whole world moves around him. These moments happen every 4 years. Then they are gone. You cannot experience them for the first time twice. This World Cup will produce its own moments. Moments that people will talk about for the next 50 years. And you will either be there for them or you won't. This World Cup 2026. This is not just any World Cup. This is the biggest World Cup ever made. 48 nations. More teams than ever in history. Messi, in his 6th and final World Cup. The greatest player who ever lived. One last chance. Haaland, 49 international goals. Finally on the biggest stage of his career. Brazil, who haven't won since 2002. 24 years of hurt, chasing the trophy again. England, who haven't won since 1966. Carrying 60 years of history into every match. France, arguably the best team on the planet, under pressure to prove it. Everyone playing for something. Everyone with everything to lose. And somewhere in this tournament, in one of these 104 matches, something will happen that nobody has ever seen before. A moment that will be remembered for the next 50 years. You don't need to understand every rule. You don't need to pick a team. You just need to watch one match. Because 90 minutes from now, something will happen that you didn't expect. And you will want to know what happens next. That's how it starts for everyone who loves this sport. One match, one moment. And you're in. Nobody who watches the World Cup regrets it. Nobody. So watch it. 96 years of history, 5 billion people, one tournament. The game hasn't changed in 100 years. The feeling hasn't changed either. Subscribe to Kick IQ Explained, because when that moment happens, you'll want to understand exactly what you